Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Leanne. Thank you so much for taking some of your time and spending it with me. I really appreciate it. So today we are going to be doing a review of the Kylie Nice palette. This palette was originally brought out around Christmas time. It had different packaging, which was more Christmassy, white and red candy cane stripes. I don't think she did not reformulate the palette, but she did bring out the palette again in sleeker black packaging. So let's talk for a moment about the packaging in itself. I did film a look that I'm wearing right now using this palette, and I will be showing you and talking about the palette and the shadows and giving you my thoughts on them. The packaging is a matte black with the Kylie it's not embossed, it just has a different texture. On the back they are giving you the ingredients, and this palette is made in the USA, which I do appreciate. When you open up the outer carton, the inside of the palette does match the carton. Mine is a little bit dirty, so if you get this or if you have this, you know that it does get dirty. I find that many of the palettes today just get dirty as you use them. It shows that you love them and you are appreciating them. On the back they are showing you the shadows because they do not give you the names on the inside. I have the hardest time flipping these around. It's like doing crown molding. You have to think upside down and backwards, and most of the time, especially if I'm doing my makeup, I don't want to have to think that hard. So I won't be referring to the colors by their name, but I will be pointing to them so you do know what we are talking about. The palette is $44. She does have free shipping on her website for over $40, which I did like, so I did not have to pay shipping. A lot of other sites require a higher amount for free shipping. So if you buy one of her palettes, you do get free shipping. It did come in a very nice box, very well packaged, which I appreciated very much. You are getting 14 pans of eyeshadow, and they are 0.85 grams per pan. Let me just give you a comparison. The new Norvina palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, you are getting 14 shadows and they are 0.74 grams of product each. Her palettes are $42, so there's just a comparison. But I will tell you, when it comes to the quality, there is no comparison to ABH products. That should give you a little clue what I think about the palette. I'm going to show you the swatches of all of these shadows, and I will show you them all together, and I will call out the names from this. We will be going from this row and then this row. So we do have Jack Frost, which is a satin white with gold shimmer. Next we have Gumdrop, which is a metallic champagne pink. Holly, which is a matte reddened orange. Ginger Snap, which is a matte mustard yellow. Blizzard, which is a shimmering mauve with a blue flip. Miracle, which is a matte white peach. Wonderland, which is a matte deepened brick red. For the second row, we have Lullaby, which is a matte light apricot. We have Mulberry, which is a satin plum. We have Slay, which is a metallic bright true gold. Santa Baby, which is a light warm taupe. Macaroon, which is a matte dusty blush. Then we have Hot Cider, which is a matte rich chocolate brown. And Drummer, which is a metallic reddened bronze. Now just to let you know, I did do 2 swipes of each color for each swatch, just to give them a fair chance and to show you what the colors truly look like. I will tell you, they swatch better than they perform on the eyes, especially some of the mattes and some of the metallics. Some of these colors are quite nice and do perform well, and others I am just having the hardest time working with. I've been playing with this palette for about 2 to 3 weeks, but have used all of the colors in many different variations, and so let me talk about them. This color here should show up on my eye as a light peach color, but what I find is it just blends out into nothing, and I don't think it is a quality pigment at all. The same with this one. This one shows up a little bit better, and you'll see the colors that I did use. I did use all of these colors, many of them, in my tutorial, rather just the look that I did. they should show up much better. I don't want a shadow that is so pigmented that it doesn't blend well, but I also don't want a shadow that just doesn't show up. This one shows up fairly well. It's not patchy and it does blend out to a decent level. Let me talk about some of the colors that I had the hardest time with. This color here, this kind of duochrome color, if you see how it's gotten matted down, this does not work with a brush. A wet brush does not work. I tried it with glitter glue. I have it on my eyes and it took me about 10 minutes just to build it up just to what this is. It swatches really nicely, but when you go to put it on your eyes, it does not play well. As you can see, it's gotten mushed down. When I first started using it, what was happening was just, instead of picking up color, all that was happening was the powder was just moving around the pan, like I was disturbing it or something. And you can see it shows up duochrome here, but it just does not perform. I mean, the color, if you look at it, see the shift that it has? Trying to get this on your eyes to actually work with anything. Now, I've said I've tried it wet, I've tried it with my finger, I've tried it with a brush, I've tried it with a wet brush. It just doesn't perform well. This one performs fairly well. I like the way this does go on, and I did put this on my lid today. This one, when you try to, it's very pigmented. Let me show you again here. It's kind of on the dry side. It's a satin. It is not a glitter, and it's not a matte. It's a satin shimmer. It does swatch well, but when you try to blend it out on your eyes, it looks chunky. There's a ton of fallout, and I tap off my brushes. It tends to look chunky, and wherever you place it, it doesn't want to blend out the way you want it to. I spent many hours trying to, not hours obviously, trying to blend it out. This one I have on my brow bone. It is fairly nice. I do like it. It's not my favorite. So I have tried all of the colors, and I said the ones that I'm finding that I have the hardest time working with are definitely this one, and some of the mattes. I can get them to work. I really enjoy the color story. It has a little bit of a subculture vibe to me, especially with this mustardy color. I don't own the subculture palette, but when I did some comparisons and I was looking, that was my first initial thought. I found it interesting that she came out with a Christmas palette again, because I do have the Christmas names to them, which doesn't bother me, but I was hoping for something more. The reason that I bought this palette is I do not purchase anything from Kim Kardashian or Kylie Cosmetics. Nothing major against them. I just happen not to like what they put out into the universe, and so I don't purchase them. And there's so much hype around her palettes and her cosmetics company that I did want to give it a fair shot before I made any judgments, and I wanted to see for myself if the prices and the hype were worth it. And I can definitely tell you that this is not a $44 palette. This is a $20 palette. I have Ulta shadows that I think I enjoy more. Of course, I will still continue to use it because that is what I do. I will play with some of the colors that I do enjoy using very much. But my overall thoughts is that it's not a $44 palette. I think there's a lot of hype. I think she appeals to a lot of the younger generation who save up their money to purchase her products, and I think for the prices that she's charging, she could put out a better quality product. And as you can see, I will never be on an APR list for her, and that doesn't bother me anyway. So, but I can tell you that you are getting a most honest review from me. And also for a $44 palette, this is just a sticker, by the way, that is put on here. And for me, having so many palettes and having tried so many different formulas, both high-end and both drugstore, I honestly feel that I have a good judgment of the quality, the way the shadows should perform, and what I expect out of something. And so that's why this palette is on the disappointing side for me. I'm glad that I did try it. I'm glad that I know for future that what the quality of her eyeshadows is, and I won't be purchasing any more from her and I will use this palette, but for me, it's definitely a no-go. Well, that's it, guys. I hope I gave you a decent, thorough review. As I said, you will be have seen the application process, etc. And well, I hope you guys have an amazing day and amazing week, and I will definitely see you in my next one. Bye, everybody.